Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be reviewing or having a look at all of the Darlington throwback paint schemes for Cup Xfinity and trucks. Obviously the weekend for Darlington is coming in a few days time, so I'll just decide to do this again like I did last year that I did this. So luckily I found a website. Oh, I will leave a link to this website down in the description. It is frontstretch.com, so you can have a look at this for yourself. So we'll first off with the Cup Series. So first off with Ross Chastain. Now I do have photos of the car. Obviously this is a Twitter video which I cannot be bothered to click on. But this is what This is also what Daniel Suarez's car also looks like. So if you full screen it, it's a bit blurred for some reason, but this is basically throwback into, if we have a look, this is so Chastain is throwback into Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s black and #1 Coca-Cola Polar Bear car, which ran at the Expedition race at the Twin Ring Motegi in 1998, while Daniel Suarez, I think he's throwing it back to Dale Earnhardt's car at the same race. And both of them are indeed Coca-Cola. One thing I also forgot to mention about this car is that this is not what the one car will look like. There's gonna be like a little slash, basically the famous Trackhouse slash. Why? Because the fucking witch herself just copyrighted because she's a bitch and she can't be bothered to do anything else. Feelings to Teresa Earnhardt, but you need to, I don't know, just deal with it. It's a throwback. I don't know what else to say to you, Teresa. This is stupid. I think you should have kept this. But whatever, it is who you are, and that's why everyone in the NASCAR community hates you. I don't know. Well, actually, I guess probably, actually, I'll say this. Most people in the NASCAR community hates you. We'll say that. Just to be nice. The only nice thing I'm probably going to say to Teresa. Either way, so I think these two paint schemes look really, really good. Beautiful, beautiful paint schemes. They're doing like they did with the GoPro paint schemes, when both of them had the beautiful GoPro paint schemes. Oh my god, I lost when I saw that. I just fucking lost. Like when I saw that on my screen, oh my god, I needed to change like new pair of underwear and pants. It was so beautiful. This is basically the same level. Beautiful and amazing throwback. I actually love that. So let's get that out of the way. So that's Chastain, Norton, and Suarez as well. Next up, it is Austin Cindric, and Cindric is throwbacking to Rusty Wallace, into Rusty Wallace's 2005 Kodak scheme. So if I search this up, this is what this is what the team is throwbacking this to. I what? Oh god, that is incredibly zoomed in. This is the car. This is the car that they're throwing it back to. This is the car. It more looks like Paul Menard's 2011 Menard's car. If I search, that's us. So put 2011 Paul Menard. Oh, it's one. Oh, this one actually. Maybe this one. Looks like a side view. Maybe this one. Yeah, this one. This is what more looks like. So I think they kind of accidentally thrown it back to Paul Menard actually, and not Rusty Wallace. Okay, whatever. We'll scroll past that, I guess. So I don't think RCR doesn't have a throwback paint scheme, but the SHR cars do. So Kevin Harvick, we'll start with Harvick. He's thrown back into his 2011-2012 Ream paint scheme, so for breast care awareness, which is pretty nice. This will also be Ream's 500th race as a partner in the sport, which is also really cool. So basically, it is the special scheme commemorating the Ream's 500th race as a NASCAR sponsor. Throws back to October 2011 and 2012. The paint schemes for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I do remember those paint schemes. They were really, really good. It's like a little drawing of it, of what the car is going to look like, and I actually love it. That's really, really cool. Next up, it is Kyle Larson, and he's throwing it back to Tim Richmond's #0 Pontiac from 1984 in the Busch Grand National Series. So if we search this up, and hopefully it will come up with the right one. No, it does not. It comes up with, let's see, okay, this one. I think this is like a good view of this. So this paint scheme right here, if we scroll down, it's actually really similar. I like the stars and the font number. That was also really nice. The stars also look really good. That's a really good throwback. I quite like that. Okay, next one we have Brad Keselowski. He's throwing it back in. He's throwing it back to Mark Martin in his 2004 Viagra. Is it Viagra paint scheme? I can't remember. It was either Viagra or Pfizer, one of those ones. But Mark Martin's 2004 scheme where he finished fourth in the standings after only one win. And this is what it looks like. Really good. I like the old font style. Love it. And that's a really good paint scheme. I'm trying to vividly remember it. I think the lines like the black. Wasn't it white? I actually can't remember. What did it look like? Oh no. What did it look like? I actually can't remember what it looked like. I think this one. Is it? Or is it that one? I think it's this one. Maybe. I think it's definitely this one. He's throwing it back to. Really good, actually. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is Viagra. But yeah, that's a really good paint scheme. Corla Joy, he is actually, the photo's already there, but look at that. He's throwing it back to Marty Robbins, 1964, number 777, Plymouth Belladiver. Whatever. I really butchered that. I like the 77. I like that. Like the little 77s and the Corla Joy. I like that. That's really good. So this is probably a contender of the best throwback paint scheme in the field for the Cup Series. Next up, it is Chase Elliott, and he is throwing it back to Jimmy Means' old Napa car thing. Yeah, resemblance to Jimmy Means' number 52 car from 1993. You can see a bit of it here. Oh, okay, well, there's Twitter. Here you go, Twitter. So this is the paint scheme that he's throwing it back to. If we scroll down to Chase Elliott, it kind of looks like it, actually. Very similar. Obviously, they do need to deal with the numbers being slid forward a bit, but quite like it. The chrome. I don't know if it's actually going to be chrome or if it's just going to be painted or grey, I guess you can say. I don't know if it's going to be like that, but that's really good. I quite like that. So let's now move on to the next one, which is Denny Hamlin, Eric Almirola. I swear Almirola. No. Okay, so nothing for Almirola. But Denny Hamlin, he is throwing it back to his 2016 Daytona 500 winning car. Cool. I don't understand why, because it's a paint scheme which it was very recent. I think the most recent one might be Eric Jones, but I might be wrong about that. It's cool, it's nostalgic, but why? You could have that could have been like easily another paint scheme that he just ran, and not like the 2016 paint scheme. So, I mean, it's cool that he's throwing it back to himself. He's obviously had a very long career, very successful career, but hasn't won a friggin' championship yet. But still, either way, this is a very recent throwback, and it's also to celebrate the 1,500th race for Toyota in NASCAR, but still, not really a good throwback there. But it is whatever. It is what it is. Chase Briscoe, he's throwing back to his boss man Tony Stewart in 2001 when he did double duty for IndyCar and NASCAR for the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day. So it's kind of like what Kurt Busch did, I think, in 2013 or 2014. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember. It was one of those years when he drove in the Indy 500 and then drove in the Coca-Cola 600. That's basically what he did. Briscoe is basically throwing it back to, I think, his paint scheme in IndyCar. I think it is. Yeah, so Tony Stewart ran in the 2001 Indy 500. I think Wampa Montoya already. Yeah, so here it is. Okay, thanks for telling me where he finished. Bloody Christ. This one. So if we go to this. Here. That is a horrible zoom. Okay, there you go. It's a bit blurry, but whatever. You see what I mean. The lightning bolt strikes, the Targa logo. Yeah, just like I said, Juan Pablo Montoya already did this, and I liked Montoya's one better. If you don't know, I think it's 2009. I think it was the 2009 Indy 500 where he homage to Tony Stewart. I think this might be in 09. It might have been 10. I can't remember. It's one of them. I know that. So he finished sixth in the Indy 500 and third in the Coca-Cola 600, which is actually pretty neat. Chris Buescher, he's throwing it back to recent inductee to the Hall of Fame for next year, if I remember correctly, is Matt Kenseth. He's attributing to the 2004 paint scheme of Matt Kenseth. So you can see both of them. So you can see what Chris Buescher is going to be running and Matt Kenseth. It's pretty similar. The issue is the orange, that's all. But I guess it's difficult, or maybe it's because of copyright issues, because of DeWalt. Maybe, most likely. So they had to deal with a yellow. But I mean, the black is pretty good, and the silver swoosh. I wonder what Eric Easton thinks about that paint scheme. I actually kind of want to, I wonder about it. Kyle Busch. Obviously this will be Eminem's final time in NASCAR. I mean, I guess like final throwback in NASCAR, as they'll be leaving at the end of this year. This is homage to Ernie Irvan's number 36 Eminem's Pontiac at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where Eminem's had a fan vote for its final season of sponsorship with Joe Gibbs Racing and Kyle Busch. This was the one that won it in a fan vote. So if you search this car up, I'm gonna guess it's definitely this one. So if we open up to a new image, this is what it looks like. It's actually pretty similar. The blue and red numbers, that looks really good. The old use of the M&M's like characters, that looks really, really good. Finally, an actual I mean the skills one was pretty good. I think that might be also been Ernie Irvan. Or was it Ernie Irvan? I think it might have been Ernie Irvan as well. Wow, look at that, twice Ernie Irvan has been throwback to by Kyle Busch. But I quite like this paint scheme. This is a very this is definitely a paint scheme to go off with a bang in if you're M&M's. This is the paint scheme that I was talking about. Another celebration of the 1,500th NASCAR race. Christopher Bell is throwing it back to his 2017 number 4 Sirius XM truck. Why? I mean, is it because Sirius XM is on the car? Apparently, he did win the Truck Series championship with it, but still, that is not a good throwback. But it is what it is, I guess. I mean, it's like, didn't he also throw back to himself as when was it? I think it is rookie season. He threw it back to himself when he was also in the Truck Series. So he has a real indice of throwing it back to himself in the Truck Series. Okay, interesting. I don't understand it, but all right. Harrison Burton, he's throwing it back to his father. So he's throwing it back to Jeff Burton's number 99 Excite scheme from 2000. It's basically what it looks like. It is okay. So already someone's already thrown it back, which was Matt Benedetto back in the day. So this paint scheme's already been thrown back to. I mean, let Harrison Burton, throw it back to his father. So I think if we scroll down a bit, this is what the paint scheme looks like. Oh, a lot easier version of it. I like how Dex kind of, was on board with it, and they made it purple, like the car with the lightning strike. I like the lightning bolt. That looks really, really good. But yeah, it's a nice paint scheme. I quite like it. Next up, it is Joey Logano. He threw it back to himself, and it was designed of his quarter midget car where it all started. And I can't bother as a video of it, but this is what it looks like. Obviously, it's a quarter midget. It's very difficult. I quite like the railings. I actually did not realize they put that on until just then. That's actually really cool. The railings, that definitely makes it a lot more realistic. So I quite like that. Really, he's been with Shell Pennzoil for that long? Damn, I did not know that. Jesus Christ. Next up is Bubba Wallace. He is throwing it back to 2008 to his late model car, actually. So Bubba Wallace's late model car. This is, I mean, it kind of reminds me of his normal paint scheme, but that's just probably because it's also Money Lion, and it's a very distinct color. But I mean, it's cool, I guess. I don't even know what it looks like. I wish I can see, but I mean, if I search it up, I think it's just gonna search up with Rusty Wallace. Wait, is that it? Wait, hang on. Oh, that is images. That is shopping, Lamau. I don't know. That's Wendell Wallace, Kenny Wallace. Is it just Wendy Wallace? Okay, fine. If I just put Bubba, I don't know. Okay, I don't think I can see it. Whatever. That's alright though. All good. I might be, yeah. But I can't see it. Maybe it's actually in the video, so you can actually have a look at that when I link this article. Next up is William Byron, and he's throwing it back to Jeff Gordon in 2007. The Flames are back. Byron is throwing it back to Jeff Gordon's famous Flames scheme from 2007. Now this is a good paint scheme. I think DuPont was on the car, which is now Exalta. So I think this is absolutely perfect. The neon yellow, that's also really good. Childhood. I mean, I'm still in my childhood, but still whatever. Previous childhood. I mean, I didn't even watch NASCAR in 2007. I started watching in 2012. Fun fact there. But obviously, much older NASCAR fans will definitely resemble to this and will love this paint scheme. And I'm all for it, I'll be honest. This is a fantastic paint scheme. Also, maybe also contender of one of the best paint schemes, well, Darlington throwback paint schemes, in the field. Next up is Cole Custer, so we jump up a bit, and I don't know what Cole. So, it's actually Jason Leffler. This is cool. So he's throwing it back to Jason Leffler's first win in the Xfinity Series in June 2004 Xfinity Series race at Nashville Superspeedway. Now this is sick. I actually love this. If you don't know, Jason Leffler sadly passed away, so I think this is the one that he is throwing it back to. So yeah, so Jason Leffler sadly passed away. I think in a dirt race. I actually can't remember. I mean, you can kind of see it. I think this is it. Yeah, it is it. Yeah, 2003 and 2004. That's really cool. That's really sick that he's throwing it back to Jason Leffler. I feel like Jason Leffler doesn't get a lot of love because I think he was actually pretty decent as a NASCAR driver. But it sucks. It really does suck. But I'm glad Leffler is finally getting some love that he deserves because he definitely deserves some love. Next up is Ty Dillon and Eric Jones. I kind of just put them together. So Ty Dillon is throwing back he's throwback to Lee Petty's win in the 1959 Daytona 500 win. Wasn't this the race where we had like a three-way finish, or was that 53 or 58, whatever it was? Whatever it was, I actually don't know. That's pretty cool. That's really nice that they've thrown back to Lee Petty. Is this the first time that Lee Petty has been thrown back to? If so, that's really cool. That's a great paint scheme to start off with. The 42, the font is really good. The paint scheme, the 315 horsepower, I think that's what that is. Really nice. Then here's Eric Jones. He is thrown it back to, I think, also in 1959 in the Daytona 500, where Richard Petty was also in it. Obviously, it was mainly we mainly seen his STP colors. Now we get to see, I think is this his first? No, I don't think. Was this his first Daytona 500? I actually don't know. That's really cool. That's really nice. I'll probably maybe pick those up. Maybe. Hopefully it's on the NASCAR Super Soul because I'm obviously international. So hopefully I can pick those up because that'll be like a really cool like duo. It's like the Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson Batman vs Superman diecast. That was really sick. Or even the Jamie McMurray and the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Halo cars. I think McMurray ran a Halo car. I might be wrong, but yeah, that'll be a really cool collection or detail there. Next up is Kurt Busch. He is throwing back to 1996 Bill Elliott paint scheme. I can't be bothered to play the video, obviously, so this is what it looks like. I think it's actually pretty similar. So if we do this, if we search this up. Oh, this one, okay. I think do I actually no, actually don't know if I actually have that one. Okay, this one. I'll show you this one, I guess, because why not? Oh, shiza. Oh, crap. Here. Yeah, that's actually really similar. Obviously, there's like the Monster Energy bit that we can kind of ignore, but the front part is basically bang on. Basically is, and I guess also the font as well. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Next up, we have Alex Ballman. I don't even need a photo for this, thank God for that. But he's going back to Mark Martin. Again, damn, Mark Martin's getting a lot of love, which is great. He's honoring Mark Martin in the number 6 red, blue, and white Valvoline car, which he won at in Darlington in 1993. Really, really nice. I swear that's already been done before. Was that Neil Bonnet? I think that might be Neil Bonnet. I'm thinking of. But still, it's great to see Mark Martin getting a lot of love in the NASCAR community. I mean, he definitely deserves it. I mean, Mark Martin is Mark Martin. He's amazing. He's a fantastic driver, and he's obviously very, very well liked. He's definitely one of my favorite NASCAR drivers. But it's great to see him getting some love in the NASCAR world, I guess, in the Cup Series. Next up is BJ Mccloud. I guess I'll also put Josh Williams on this as well because they're running basically the same paint scheme. It's a throwback to BJ's late model series race at Orlando Speed World in 2004. Okay. I mean, obviously they are incredibly similar. It's interesting that BJ McCloud doesn't have any sponsors on his car, which really concerns me. But I guess it's like for aesthetic purposes. So maybe it's just to hide that he doesn't he doesn't have any sponsorship for this race. Actually, I think he might. He just doesn't want to show any sponsors because I think that's actually what he ran in in the late models series. So, well, oh, I guess you could say super late models. I wonder if I can actually try and find it. If I can try to find his car. That can't be that. I don't know. Let's have a look. I don't know. I don't think I can. That's unlucky. I would actually quite like to see what the actual car looks like. And I already showed you Daniel Suarez, but he's basically running the Coca-Cola paint scheme, which is Dale Earnhardt's red number 3 Coca-Cola livery in the same race in the Twin Ring Motegi in Japan. Now let's move on to the Xfinity series and another Mark Martin throwback for Brent Moffitt. He is throwing it back to his rookie 1982 season. I don't know what is it Jolly Ranchers? I think that might be Jolly Ranchers. I think it might be the sponsor that Mark Martin had. Maybe it makes sense. 0202 completely makes sense. I think that's a really, really, really nice paint scheme. Maybe even pick it up. We just have to wait and see. I like the blue, like blue logo at the very front, like in real life, like in the picture. I guess like the little red arrow, I guess you can say. The red line as well, really, really nice. In the box, love it. That's actually amazing. Next up is Joe Graff Jr., who is throwing it back to Buckshot Jones. I was not expecting Buckshot Jones to get some love. Oh my god, that's amazing. So he's throwing it back to Buckshot Jones' number 0, Georgia Pacific scheme in 2001. I mean, it looks really similar. Blue, white, got some white bits at the front. Really, really nice. I think that's like a little yeah. There is a little swoosh in Buckshot Jones's car. You just can't really see it because of all the sponsors at the front of the car. But it's definitely you can definitely see it in Graff's car. That's really, really nice. I quite like it. The font is also perfect. The 0 is amazing. The 7 is also really good. Like it, love it. Davis Starr, he is throwback into Bobby Dollar's car. You can see a tiny picture of it, but I'm not going to risk it. Maybe I can actually try and find here. No, I cannot. I don't know why it just shows Brent Moffitt's one only, but whatever. So it's a throwback to the team owner of Fastest Green Light Racing, which is Bobby Dada, who drove the '08 High Tools car in 1995. I actually do have a Bobby Dada car in my collection. It's not this car, obviously. But yeah, you can see like a tiny bit of it is like some blue, just white. The 08 is perfect. It's kind of reminds, I guess, is almost like Buckshot Jones's font. Um, but yeah, that's basically that's really good. This one, Sam Mayer. He is thrown back to Rick Mast. I was not expecting Rick Mast to get love, but he did. So it is Rick Mast's so-called Cup Series paint scheme from the early 1900s. So if I copy this and I search it up, even though I don't really need to copy it, okay, I don't, whatever. Let's see if I can actually try to find this one. That's almost actually perfect. So yeah, that's all like the view we can only get. But I think like like the black is basically perfect. The white at the top, the American flag which was there, that's a good detail. The American flag, the lining as well. The font is also perfect. I like it. That's a really nice paint scheme. Ryan Vargas, this is a very interesting one. I saw this. He's throwback into Jeff Gordon's Pepsi car in 1999. And I think, do I have that car? I might be wrong. But it's a Pepsi car. And they try to work with, it's pretty lazy, I'll be honest, I must say. Sorry to say that, but it's a tiny bit lazy. The font doesn't really match. I mean, they have the correct blue, kind of. I mean, it's just blue, but okay. I mean, doesn't. I don't know what else to say, but kind of lazy from JD Motorsports. This is definitely not lazy, but we got Justin Allgaier paying homage to Dale Sr. Of the blue and yellow Wrangler colors and the Chevy Monte Carlo 1984 Daytona. Basically, most of his early season with Richard Childress Racing. But Hellmann's, the mayonnaise, yes, Hellmann's mayonnaise. They are sponsoring Allgaier in this weekend. That's really good. I always love these like cartoon types art from Junior Motorsports. I love it, and I can't wait to see that on track. His teammate Josh Berry, what's up, Doc? This is what is this? So this is a reference to Dale Earnhardt Jr. 2002 Looney Tunes action, Looney Tunes / action performance number 8 car. Junior drove it, the car, which features Grossamer on the hood, which is like the bomb, I guess. I don't know what that is. On the hood to victory in Richmond Raceway in Xfinity Series that year. So if we search this up once again, like I always do, so we can actually compare them. That is actually really similar. Holy crap. I guess that the only issue is the 8 fonts. Why? Because of a certain Teresa Earnhardt, which is why we can't have nice things. But that's really good. It's a bit blurry because I have to zoom in, but that's a really good paint scheme. I quite like it. Just love it. Absolutely lovely. Next up, it is Brandon Jones, and he is throwing it back to Paul Menard. Finally, some Menard's love. 2011 Indy 500 win. Okay. I mean, it is Paul Menard, so I can't really argue with that. I like the little sponsors at the quarter panel. That's pretty nice. The little swerve on the orange. That's also really cool. But other than that, it's another of those recent paint schemes that I don't know if you should really throw it back to. I feel like maybe soon you can throw it back to the 2010s paint schemes, but as of right now, I don't think it's a time yet. Maybe in a couple years' time, but as of right now, it is. I don't think it's a time yet, but you can if you really want to. But I quite like that. That's really nice by Brandon Jones. Next up is Anthony Alfredo, and he is throwing back to Tom Herbert. Never heard of Tom Herbert in my life. I'm sorry to say that. But so Tom Herbert's 2002 Hills Brothers coffee livery. Nice. I think it's like the font. It definitely reminds me of GMS Racing when Spencer Gallagher was in the Xfinity Series. I think yeah, the font's also really good. The dude wipes God, the dude wipes font is also matches with Heel's brother's coffee. I like it. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good paint scheme. Jeb Burton, he is throwing it back to who in the, oh, it's Ward Burton. 1992 paint scheme that they won with at Rockingham. And this is also, well, I guess back then it was the Grand National Series, I think. But that was basically perfect. I love it. They also use iRacing as well. The font matches. There's like the white bit, the hood, which is also really good. I wish you can color the wind in it, but I don't think you're allowed to. I think it has to be black, which really sucks. But that's a really nice paint scheme there. Myan Snyder, he is thrown back to is it? Oh, Ken Schrader's Baron? I don't know. I cannot English. Schrader won the pole at Darlington in March 1987 and brought home at fifth. I'm actually surprised they used that font. And like the capital city, that's like a good curve. The hood basically matches. I'm just shocked about the font. That's all of like the number font. I was not expecting them to actually to also copy the number font, but they did, which brings me happiness and joy to the world. I'm very happy about that. This one is Patrick Emmerling, and he is thrown back to NASCAR Hall of Famer Richie Evans' modified scheme. It's obviously very difficult to make a to base off a throwback to a modified car. Okay, so it looks like there's no Patrick Emmerling's car in close up, but I just noticed there's a little line here. I think that might be, the roll cage and like little, is that an air filter? I might be wrong. um, I wish it was a black number, but I don't think it really matters. But that's really good. I quite like how I really like how that Richie Evans is getting some love. I mean, he's obviously a NASCAR Hall of Famer, so he should get some love. But not a lot on a throwback, but that's still because it's a modified, and if modified had a throwback, there'll be a lot of Richie Evans throwback paint schemes. So, but either way, that's really good. I quite like it. DGM Racing and first off with Alex Zabay. This is it is Mike McGravy's Senior's 1976 car, I think. Similar livery to Michael McCarry Senior's 1976 Marion Edwards Jr. Memorial Race winning car, and is also the McCarry's DGM Racing co-owners Michelle Goslin's father, which is pretty nice. Nice little throwback. Can't really see it, but that's the image that they're basing this off. I really like the number font, the black stripes going behind the number, then the hood as well. That's also really nice. That's a good paint scheme, yeah. Josh Bilicki, he is throwing a peck to Bill Elliott's 2006 00 paint scheme. I actually have not seen this. I am actually interested now. Oh. Obviously, Burger King is not in the sport anymore. So, yeah, we kind of have to deal with what we have to. So, it's Insurance King, which is actually a good sponsor to use. I think. Oh, who was it? Was it? Wait, Blicky also did this as well, wasn't it? Like last year, I think, if I remember correctly, Blicky legit did this. I think Blicky also did this with Rick Ware Racing last year, which is actually kind of funny. And he's doing it in the Xfinity series with Alpha Prime Racing. It's good. Actually, is that actually Bill Elliott? I don't know if that's the right one, but either way. I like is that beige? I'm gonna guess as a beigey color. The little Insurance King logo, that's pretty nice. The black Wait, is that a crown? Oh my god, it is a crown. I could just barely see the crown on the hood. Oh my god, this is another 10 out of 10 for Josh Bilicki. I swear, Bilicki, like, brings out a lot, like, the best paint schemes in throwbacks, I swear. Tyler Reddick, who'll be driving for Big Machine Racing, and not Jade Buford, which I was actually kind of expecting. Reddick, he is, who's he throwing it back to? He's throwing it back to Bobby Allison with his red and gold livery, where Allison won the 1972 7500 at Darlington. Okay. I mean, I, it's cool. I think I know what they're talking about, but I need to actually have a check. I'm just gonna do this. Okay, you don't need to show me the video. Yeah. So this like black and gold with like the Coca-Cola bottle. That's basically what they're throwing it back to. Okay, I guess Joey Gates already threw this back. But oh, and Tony Stewart. Okay, so a lot of love for Bobby Allison in this paint scheme already. Jesus Christ. Come on. Come on, Big Machine Racing. At least like do something else. Because all of the three, like Stewart, Gase, they all had number fonts. They all had something red. Do something else. Come on, guys. Anyway, whatever. Jeremy Clements, he is throwing it back to... Who's he throwing it back to? Darren Hart's Wrangler Jeans car, 1982. This is the 15 card, not the 3 card or anything. Maybe it's basically just like Justin Allgaier's paint scheme. I don't know. But I mean, it makes sense actually why Clements should throw this back. I mean, 51 backwards 15, whatever. That's really nice. I quite like it. I need to move in a bit forward. This is one of my favorite paint schemes. Ty Gibbs is throwing it back to Bubba Labonte's 2002 Interstate Batteries car. I mean, it works because I mean Interstate Batteries is in it, and also I mean what doesn't work is the Monster Energy logo, but I guess they have to put that in somewhere, which kind of sucks. But I quite like the Lions, which is I guess also known as a shark car. Quite like it. The little shark fins, I guess you can say. I quite like it. That's really nice. He went on Martinsville that year. Wow, look at that. JJ Yeley, he is throwing it back to Bobby Hamilton in 1993. The Pink Country Time car. I quite like when cars actually go pink. It's obviously a color that you don't really see a lot in motorsport as a whole. But that's really nice. I quite like that. Good job for JJ Yeley. Next up is Brandon Brown, and he is throwing it back to his first late model win at Old Dominion Speedway. I think that's what's it called. Ah, feck's sakes. All right. Well, I guess we have to. I'll try and Jesus Christ! Actually, jump scared me. This is what the paint scheme looks like. Okay. So this is what the paint scheme looks like. So this is his Super Late model car. I mean, quite like the the logo change. I mean, Brandon built, so that's pretty nice. Some other logos in it as well. Decent. Really, I quite like it. I mean, I don't know what else to say because I haven't seen it, but cool, I guess. Josh Williams already mentioned it. Interesting that they put the logos in on his car and on Mccloud's car, but whatever. Mason Massey. He's throwing it back to his father, I think it might be. Is it? Yeah. To tribute to Mason's father, Marty Massey, who drove a red and yellow color during the Dirt Late model race in 2003. You can see a bit of the photo here. And here as well, actually. I'll do this because that's just easier. The font is obviously different, which is lovely. The logo, I don't know what the logo is there, but whatever. Quite like the yellow splash or flames coming out of it. That's really nice. We'll see how Mason Massey goes because I've been talking about him a lot in my results. Stefan Parsons, he is throwing it back to his father Phil Parsons. So this is his 1988 scheme, and the number 55 Crown Scholar car in 1998. That's really cool. I mean, family tradition. I like the Circle B and like the little Go SoCal Com or whatever it's called. I think that's what it says. That's really really nice. The number font is also really good. SoCal in the back with Crown as well. Quite like it. That's really 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 nice. So I move on to the trucks, and last year I remember Hailie Deegan had the 1966 Ford GT Le Mans winning car as her paint scheme. Now she's running Bobby Allison's paint scheme on her truck, which is really, really, really nice. Oh, this is the AMC Matador now, I remember. Yes. Yes. Yes, the AMC Matador. I remember this now. This kind of reminds me of the French flag. Kind of. I guess, this car. But either way, that's a beautiful paint scheme. It's a shame that actually no, the one is actually the one is actually the same as as on the truck for Deegan, so that's pretty nice. Blaine Perkins, he is throwing it back to his crew chief Doug George, who piloted the number 21 truck in 1996. I think you can. I think there might be a better view over here. It's obviously grass, so that's obviously grass there. I like the little green at the bottom, that's really cool. The black bed of the truck, that's also really good. Race line colored in red, I think that's ortho. Yes, it is ortho. Good paint scheme. I quite like it. I'm gonna say that quite a lot in this video. I realized this is interesting. I think when I saw this, Spencer Boyd, he's throwing it back to Michael Waltrip's Hawaiian Punch scheme, which he debuted in 1985. That's been a long time ago. Is that a Toyota Corolla, or is that a? Look at that window. Oh my god. Font is basically perfect. Color scheme is perfect. I don't know if there's anything on the hood. I'll be honest, but they just put rim time on the hood either way for sponsorship reasons. That's basically dead on perfect. Tyler Ankrum. I think this might be the first truck, the first truck throwback as of right now. Obviously there'll be more in the future, but coming up, we got Tyler Ankrum, who's throwing it back to Mike Skinner's number 5 Toyota Tundra from 2004. One bad thing I have about this truck is orange. I think it might be because of Liuna, which is a sponsor of Ankrum. They want orange on the truck, because that's the color. They can't have red of Tundra, which is depressing. Only if that was red, that would give them a pass, but it's orange, which is not it. But I mean, it's basically based off it, which is good enough, I guess. Ryan Preece, he is throwing it back to... Who's he throwing it back to? A New England... how do you say? Reggie Regario? Or Regario. Is it? I think it's Regario. Or Regiro. I don't know. I'm just going to say Regario, because that's just easier. Maybe I'm just dumb. But he's a modified to a winner. He's won from 1985 to 2009. Holy crap, he's been racing for a very long time. He actually currently works for Stewart Haas Racing. Nice. So obviously Ryan Preece, he used to run the modified series in the past before he jumped up to the top 3 premierships on NASCAR. It's pretty cool that he's going back to another modified racer. A lot of love for the modifieds, which is good to see. But anyway, I quite like it. That's a good paint scheme. So we got Chandler Smith, who I think is the only one who's running in a throwback paint scheme out of everyone from KBM. He is running, what is this? A throwback to primary sponsor Satellite Mobile Gas Shop vehicles from before 2013, sporting the white instead of normal black base livery. I'm gonna say this right now, that is the worst throwback I've ever seen this year. Maybe even worse than Christopher Bell's. That's what I was gonna say. Derek Kraus, he is throwing it back to team owner Bill McAnally. Let's have a look. On the 1990 late model car, another late model car. And well, another throwback to a late model car, which is Bill McAnally's car. I mean, you guess that's a perfect font. The paint scheme is basically, I'm gonna guess, is perfect because I can't be bothered to search up right now because I'm wasting a lot of time. It's almost an hour in this video, but this is just perfect. I think that's a beautiful paint scheme. I hate that font, but I think that's what Bill ran in his late model. I hate that font a lot, but if it fits, it fits. Danny Bone, he's throwing it back to their war trip in 1981 and 1982 in that Mountain Dew paint scheme. I don't know why the hell you would throw this back to him, but apparently he did. Cool, I guess. I don't know what else to say about it, but cool. Good on him. I don't know if it works. It doesn't really mean. Is the only cool thing is that they for the side instead of Mountain Dew, they just put ticksuck.org and the org was red. That's the only cool thing that they did for this paint scheme. Other than that, it looks weird on the truck. Yes, I know this one. Yep, I've seen it. Yeah, I saw this one when it was announced. Matt Benedetto, he is throwing it back to Sterling Marlin and the Silver Bullet. I love the Silver Bullet. And even though yes, it is a truck, he's actually representing it really, really well. That's a really good paint scheme. I don't know. I don't know what the hell those things. What is that? Is it like? Oh, it's actually mountains. Oh, it's Coors Light. Because you know, Coors Light is like mountains and stuff. Whatever. That's a nice detail. I just realized. That's really, really nice. Josh William. Oh boy, I would love to hear what people say about this. I'm just gonna be on the fence for this one. But Josh William, he is throwing it back to Dale Earnhardt in the black number 3. I would love to see what people say about this paint scheme. I would love to. I mean, it fits. They did a good job of replicating it, but it just looks weird on the truck, and I hate it. I'm not a big fan of it. If someone did for instance, if Austin Dillon did that on the Cup Series, I think that would definitely fit. Or even in the Xfinity Series with Jeffrey Earnhardt maybe back in the number 3 for there. It does not look good. I hate it. It does not look good at all. Dean Thompson, he is throwing it back to our former sprint car racer Dean Thompson. So Dean Thompson is throwing it back to Dean Thompson. Okay. I don't know if that's his father or is that actual. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop asking questions. I mean, it fits red and orange and a bit of some yellow there. That's really good. I don't know. I don't know what the hell the number of it looks like. I mean, you can actually see a bit of it at the front, but whatever. Cool, I guess. It's interesting that Dean Thompson is throwing it back to Dean Thompson, who's who won 3 California Racing Association championships in the early 1980s. Interesting. I don't know what else to say about that. Oh, this is actually pretty nice. Carson Hocevar. He's throwing it back to Travis Pastrana in the Xfinity Series. So when Pastrana was in the Xfinity Series back in 2012 for Boost Mobile Design for I think it was like Pastrana Wartrip Racing. That is something you don't see that often, and I love that. I love it when cars paint schemes you don't really know that much about getting some love, and I love it. I actually love it. That's a beautiful paint scheme by Carson Hocevar. Next up we got Akanawa Ogata. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know he's throwing it back to another Mike Skinner truck, this time in the mid 2000s. I mean, Mike Skinner has gotten a lot of love in the truck series, and that makes sense because Mike Skinner 2005 Toyota Tundra. Okay, cool. I mean, yeah, Skinner's getting a lot of love because he's like one of the legends of the truck series other than Ron Hornaday. But it's very generic to go with Mike Skinner, but I mean, I give them a pass either way. Chris Wright. Speaking of Ron Hornaday, he is throwing it back to Ron Hornaday in the 2009 VFW scheme, which will return to the track. So it's an actual former sponsor of Hornaday. That's actually really cool. and that actually fits really perfect. That also fits perfect as well for him. So this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Having the old logo back, that's cool. Lawless Allen, he is another okay. He's thrown it back to Jeff Gordon in the 2007 Department of Defense paint scheme, with his own autopocket.com Chevy Silverado. I mean, the neon is pretty good. The flames are also really, really nice, but why, why the Cup Series? Why, like, also like in like this, like in like the mid 2000s or even late 2000s? Okay. He did win 6 races that year and placed second in the standings. Okay, cool. I don't I don't know what to say about that. Stuart Friesen, he is throwing it back to Jumping Jack Johnson, who's a Northeast modified racer who passed away in 2021. He drove the Cycrus of Superdome Week in 1992. Is it there? No, it's not. It's not. It's not there. All right, hang on. This is like the only good shot I have of it. Oh my God, that number font though. Oh my God. I like the checkered flag. I'm gonna guess that was in the car. I'm gonna guess this Halma part which has been cut off a bit on the screen. Obviously something else was written there, but I quite like the font style. That's a nice paint scheme. And like what is it, a modified a Northeast modified car, which is basically a normal modified car. That's really, really good. I love that. Next up, we got Chase Purdy. He is throwing it back to Dale Waltrip's number 12 in 2005. If we scroll down a bit. I mean, it actually kind of fits. The only bad thing is the number font doesn't really match up with that, but I mean, Notoriety wants to run their own font, which is understandable. I like to add up the Tundra. That's pretty cool. I think, is this the final one? This is the final one. This is the final one for today's video. Today's very, very long video. Colby Howard. He is throwing it back to JT Gordon's 1970s scheme. Okay. I don't really know about it, JT Gordon, I'll be honest, but it fits. It definitely reminds me of Bobby Allison's Coca-Cola paint scheme that Tyler Reddick is throwing it back to. Reminds me of it, but I think that's still a really, really nice paint scheme. So that is about it. I don't really want to say my favorites because I mean it's already a waste. It's a very long video either way, so I don't really want to keep you guys here for a long time. But that's really about it. I'll leave a link to this article down in the description so you can read it for yourself. So that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.